Welcome to the Share Education team's video on digital safety and interactions. Now that so much of our lives exist in a digital space, whether it be work, school, health and fitness, or social, it's important to take some time to learn about the ways we can create a safe and healthy digital environment for everyone. Before we go over the roadmap for this video, we want to touch on some resources.
Remember that regardless of location or living situation, there are resources available to help support you. The Confidential Support Team, or CST, at Stanford can be a helpful first place to start. And if campus resources are not applicable or not wanted, CST can help you connect to local resources or whatever might be best for you. And you can find out more about CST at vaden.stanford.edu/CST.
In this video, we will be discussing how technology could be used to harm others, signs and indicators of abuse, online safety practices, and how to be mindful of how you use technology. And before we get into it, we'll do some brief introductions. My name is Anna Marie Safranek. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a student staff member for the Share Education team.
And my name is Carly Flannery. I also use she, her, hers pronouns, and I lead the Share Education team's student-focused prevention education.
Hi, I'm Louisa Ladd. I'm a psychologist at the Confidential Support Team.
So first off, we'll be discussing technology as a tool for abuse. Technology is an incredibly powerful tool that can be used to do amazing things, but it's also easily weaponized. Technology is often used in sexual abuse, sexual harassment, relationship violence, and stalking. It's important to be aware of how technology can be used to cause harm by strangers or current or former partners. We'll go over some examples, and then later in this video, we'll cover online safety practices. First, people who use technology to abuse can log in or hack into your account and control your use of certain apps, social media, platforms, etc. They can also create fake or impersonating accounts online, like social media, dating sites, porn sites, etc., to harass the victim survivor, their friends, and family. Second, those with abusive behaviors can also send harassing messages repeatedly using different platforms and accounts through email, text, DMs, apps, or phone calls. Third, a victim survivor can also be monitored or tracked through their digital devices. Both software like spyware or monitoring software that tracks locations, and hardware like hidden cameras or GPS trackers can be used by people with abusive behaviors.
Additionally, because Zoom has become a daily practice, we want to take some time to highlight some harmful ways that Zoom can be used. Zoom bombing refers to the intrusive, disruptive, uninvited, or unwanted entrance into a video meeting or conference, typically by online trolls. Often in Zoom bombing, the screen is taken over by the troll to display offensive or pornographic content, which can be disturbing or triggering. Zoom can also be used to facilitate stalking behaviors. People can get information from others' video presence or background to find out their location, track them, etc. It's also important to be cognizant of how certain behaviors can negatively impact the Zoom environment. For example, taking up too much airtime, such as talking over or interrupting for most of the meeting. Abusive behavior on Zoom can also mean aggressively or persistently bringing up topics that people don't want to discuss, that make people feel unsafe, or that people have specifically and repeatedly asked not to discuss because it's triggering or offensive.
Next, we're going to review some potential signs and indicators of digital abuse. This is just a foundational list, as digital abuse can take many forms and exist in different contexts. So what are some indicators of digital abuse? Controlling who you can and can't be friends with on different social media platforms. It could be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also using those types of platforms or the variety of others to keep constant tabs on you. Sending unwanted explicit pictures or demanding that you send some in return. This should not be normalized, as sending unwanted pictures, explicit pictures of a sexual nature, and forcing someone else to do so could both be a Stanford policy violation and also a crime. Taking pictures or videos of you without your consent and then posting or sharing them with friends or publicly without your consent. Constantly texting you and making you feel like you can't be separated from your phone out of fear of being punished or guilt tripped for not being available all the time. Looking through your phone frequently, trying to check up on you, looking at your pictures, texts, or phone calls. Using any kind of technology, that could be GPS tracking, spyware, to monitor you or demand that you turn on location services so that you can be tracked at all times. So if you're experiencing any of these behaviors and feeling distressed, we really encourage you to seek support, ask for help from someone that you trust, or make use of some of the resources we've mentioned so far. Additionally, if you are concerned that you might be doing some of these things, later in this video, we'll be covering how you can review and change your own online behaviors so that we can make sure your actions aren't contributing to control or abuse of another person.
Now we'll take some time to go through online safety practices. Essentially, we want to provide a checklist of general practices for you to consider implementing into your digital behavior to improve safety and security. Remember, even if you choose not to do any of these, it is never your fault if somebody uses technology to stalk or otherwise harm you. For internet and browsing safety, use a VPN or virtual private network to boost privacy and protection. Avoid shared computers, like at libraries, or browsing while on public Wi-Fi. Be sure to clear your browsing and search history if you're concerned about being monitored. Some social media suggestions are to avoid sharing phone numbers, addresses, handles, schools, employers, locations, etc., and to just be aware of any personal details that you provide online. For example, on Snap Maps, geotags, etc. Check in with people before they post a photo of you or information about you that you don't want online. And don't respond if somebody is harassing you online. Instead, document the communication, flag posts, and report the harassing users.
Next, we're going to talk about tips for keeping you and your cell phone safe. Keep a password on your phone and update it regularly. If you're concerned that someone is monitoring your cell phone activity, you might want to consider buying a burner phone or a pay-as-you-go phone. And if you're using your phone to document abuse, harassment, or stalking, avoid storing evidence on the device itself, for example, screenshots or iCloud notes. Instead, keep the evidence stored in a private place. Be wary of suspicious profiles. Avoid making contact with strange profiles or following any off-site links or URLs. Block and report suspicious users to keep you and others safe. Wait to share personal information. It's important to confirm that the user is legit and doesn't pose a harm to you or anyone else. Do not respond to requests for financial help. Use unique photos for your dating profile that are not already on the internet, so that abusers and stalkers cannot reverse image search you.
It's also helpful to have general practices for groups and communities. Establish online group norms and expectations that ensure privacy and safety for everyone. This could include Zoom norms that everyone agrees to, such as one person speaking at a time, being respectful to one another, restricting access to screen sharing, or encouraging people to be upstanders to intervene when harm occurs. And then it's helpful to create an agreed structure of consequences. So if those norms are violated, users who are causing harm or being abusive will be held accountable. This could mean having conversations to learn what they did wrong, reaffirming what is acceptable and respectful, being referred to Stanford professional staff, such as the Share Education team, or even being kicked out or banned from these digital meetings and platforms.
And while it's important to be aware of how technology could be used against you, and it is never your fault if this happens to you, we want to highlight the ways you can be mindful and intentional about the way you use technology to help create a safe digital environment for everyone. It's important to check yourself and make sure that your actions online aren't controlling, harassing, or abusive. Integrating consent into your digital interactions is a great way to make sure that you're promoting safe and healthy online communication. We'll go over some examples of digital interactions and the ways you can ask for consent.
So since a lot of communication happens through social media, it's important to make sure that you're promoting a positive digital environment. Sometimes having a degree of anonymity or separation online allows us to act on strong negative emotions without thinking through how it could impact our online community. It can be really useful to take some time, take a deep breath, and consider what you're going to post, what you're going to comment or DM. The most important thing is to try to check in with yourself. See if what you're saying would actually be helpful, encourage a productive conversation, and isn't harassing or hateful. Check in with your partner, close friends, roommates, and others about how you like to text each other and what you consider to be a reasonable amount of time. It's important to make sure that you're not expecting too much or being too demanding about response time. That could feel really controlling.
Sexting means sending sexual photos, videos, or messages from your phone or computer. Talk to any partners about how they feel about sexting, no matter how casual or serious the relationship is. If that person is okay with sexting, ask them before you send anything. To reiterate, sending unsolicited explicit pictures of a sexual nature can constitute as a Stanford policy violation and a crime. If someone says no to sending a nude photo or sexual photo, respect their choice and move on. They're not obligated no matter what your relationship is. In turn, don't send any explicit photos unsolicited or without the consent of the person you're sending them to. Ask your partner, roommates, friends, family, classmates, and others how they feel about you sharing and tagging photos of them online. It's vital that you request the privacy of other people because sharing personal information or photos online without consent can be violating. We hope this provided you with some insight into how you can actively promote a healthy online environment through your own behavior and by being aware of how technology can be used as a tool for abuse.
To continue your learning, there are a variety of Share Ed Team videos you can watch on our website or by emailing sarah.office@stanford.edu. You can also visit sarah.stanford.edu/learn-more for more information on a variety of related topics. Lastly, if you'd like to contact our team, please email sarahoffice@stanford.edu and we can schedule an appointment. And remember, you can find the confidential support team at vaden.stanford.edu/CST. Thank you for listening and learning.